In 1587, over 100 English men, women, and children landed on Roanoke Island, off the coast of North Carolina. They came to build a new life in the uncharted New World. But 3 years later, when a relief ship returned, the entire colony had vanished into thin air. No bodies, no signs of a struggle, no burned houses. Just a ghost town, and a single, cryptic word carved into a wooden post, CROATOAN. What happened to these 115 souls? For over 5 centuries, Roanoke has remained America's oldest unsolved mystery. To understand the disappearance, we have to go back to 1584. Queen Elizabeth I wanted to challenge the global dominance of Spain. She granted a charter to Sir Walter Raleigh to colonize North America. Raleigh sent an expedition, and they discovered Roanoke Island. It looked perfect, rich wildlife and a strategic location. However, the first attempt in 1585 was a total disaster. The settlers were mostly soldiers who didn't know how to farm. They relied heavily on the local Native American tribes for food. Soon, tensions grew. A minor misunderstanding over a missing silver cup turned into deadly violence. After the English killed a local chief, they realized they couldn't survive. Starving and surrounded by enemies, they abandoned the island and fled back to England. But Raleigh didn't give up. In 1587, he tried again. This time, he sent families minus 115 ordinary citizens, led by John White. Among them was White's pregnant daughter, Eleanor Dare. Shortly after landing, Eleanor gave birth to Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas. She was a symbol of hope. But that hope was short-lived. The local tribes had not forgotten the blood spilled by the previous soldiers. They viewed these new settlers as invaders. Within weeks, the situation turned dark. A settler named George Howe was found dead, shot with 16 arrows. The colony was terrified. They knew they couldn't survive a war or the upcoming winter without help. The colonists begged Governor John White to return to England for urgent supplies. White didn't want to leave his family, but it was their only chance. Before leaving in August 1587, they agreed on a secret code. If they had to leave the island due to danger, they would carve their new location onto a tree. If they were under attack, they would carve a cross above the name. White sailed away, promising to return in months. He had no idea it was the last time he would see them. When White arrived in England, disaster struck. War broke out with the Spanish Armada. The Queen seized every ship for the war effort. White was trapped. For 3 long years, he begged for a ship. He knew his family was running out of food, or worse. Finally, in August 1590, White returned. Approaching the island at night, they saw smoke. Hope sparked. They blew trumpets and sang English songs, but there was only silence. The next morning, White stepped ashore. The houses were neatly taken down, not burned. The area was overgrown with weeds. There were no signs of battle, no bones, no graves. Then, White saw the entrance post. Carved in capital letters was the word, CROATOAN. On a nearby tree, the letters CRO. White searched frantically, but there was no cross. No sign of distress. Did 115 people willingly pack up and join a native tribe, or were they secretly massacred? The answers lay hidden in the dark forests.